Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. A bit belated though, sorry about that. But again, I'm going to have to cover two matches today. That is Pakistan Sri Lanka, which is very interestingly poised. Pakistan are still there. They have still two more wickets to go, and with rain not coming on the fifth and final day, which is tomorrow, Pakistan are 188 runs ahead. And if Sri Lanka manage to capture the two wickets very quickly, then we definitely have a game on hand, and there will be a target that Sri Lanka will be chasing for sure. So there could be a result, but well, the rain has to stay away. I'll talk about that. And then the recently, just now, the third one-day international between New Zealand and West Indies have ended, and well, it's a real surprise. New Zealand have won the third one-day international against West Indies to keep this one-day series alive. So let me start off first to go to Sri Lanka and talk about that interesting match which is happening. Stumps on day 4, Pakistan finished at 299 for 8. Well, as I said, I am not going to go into much details today, just going to cover the salient features of it because I don't have much time today. Well, today it was, in fact, as you know, they resumed at their overnight score, and Mohammad Hafiz and Azhar Ali. Well, Mohammad Hafiz went on to make 52 good runs with 6 fours, but the feature of the day was Azhar Ali's batting. Azhar Ali was simply superb. He was so good. He was his defense is impregnable, as you know. He's driving down the ground. Any time, any ball which used to be, he used to work well off his pads, and he used to target the mid-wicket region whenever any in-swingers were bowled. Azhar Ali was simply good. It was a very tough thing for Sri Lankan bowlers to penetrate Azhar Ali's defense. And well, not only that, Azhar Ali went on to make his 4th century in a limited number of tests. He made 136 with 13 boundaries. He was involved into some very good partnership, first with Mohammad Hafiz, then he also had a very good partnership with Asad Shafiq, who is the real hope for Pakistan tomorrow because he is still there. First innings he made 75, as you remember, and right now he was unbeaten at 55 at stumps with 5 fours. So Asad Shafiq is the one which Sri Lanka would like to dismiss, because if he is going to stay, runs are going to flow. He's a very attractive batsman. He likes to go play his stroke, but also tomorrow occupation of the crease would be something that Asad Shafiq would like to do. So one has to wait and watch what really happens. Yunus Khan and Misbah-ul Haq were dismissed cheaply. Rangana Herath took their wickets. Yunus Khan was out for 19 with 3 fours, and Misbah-ul Haq made just 5 of 8 balls. And other than that, Asad Shafiq and Azhar Ali were involved into a very good partnership, because at the time when like 110 for 2 when Mohammad Hafiz was out, and 158 for 3, and then 176 for 4. But after 176 for 4, the century partnership took the score on to 276. But there was a mini collapse at the particular stage, as it was Fernando who came in and struck. He actually had Azhar Ali caught behind for 136, and then he had Mohammad Sami LBW Fernando for 3, and Rangana had dismissed Umar Gul LBW for a duck. And then Saeed Ajmal, well, he actually copped a blow on his finger from Dilara Fernando, and eventually was LBW bowled Herath for 5, and that left Asad Shafiq. As I said, he is the hope tomorrow. He's not out on 55 with 5 fours. Adnan Akmal was not out on naught. 299 for 8. They are 188 runs ahead now, Pakistan. And tomorrow is the final day. As I said, rain has to stay away. If rain stays away, we have a game on hand. Look at the bowling figures. Kulashekara 22 overs, 8 minutes, 50 runs and 1 wicket. Tisra Pereira none for 66, but Rangana Herath was superb today. 32 overs, 4 minutes, 64 runs and 4 wickets. Dilhara Fernando showed the class of old today by bowling some very good Yorkers, and he was also bowling that slower delivery very well, and it fetched him 20 overs, 1 made and 65 runs and 3 wickets. None for 38 for Angelo Matthews. And just talking about this match, as I said, the match is very well poised. Tomorrow, what is going to be the key? For Pakistan, the good thing is Asad Shafiq is there. He's a recognized batsman. So Sri Lanka would try to see to it that they dismiss the tailenders, and the person who is giving company to Asad Shafiq is Adnan Akmal, the wicketkeeper, but he had a hairline fracture, so one wouldn't really trust him, and then they have only Junaid Khan to come. So whatever runs they accumulate tomorrow will be useful for Sri Lanka. Well, they are already one up in the series and they have nothing to lose and they would like to win the series, and I'm sure if rain is going to stay away tomorrow, then they are going to give them the real worth for the spectators by going for the target that Pakistan poses. Let's hope that with 188, either it could be that they could end up all out on 200 because there are two. Adnan Akmal can bat, so if he can give the same support to Asad Shafiq and probably stretch it towards lunch and then add probably 70-80 runs, still make a target, so we would have a very good game on hand where Pakistan and Sri Lanka would be contending for that particular win. So it would be great for the spectators, great for Test cricket if that happens tomorrow, but the rain has to stay away. Again and again I say that. As you know, it has always been riddled by rain, this particular Test match. So one hopes the rain stays away and we have a great game of cricket. So don't miss it. 5th day's play at the Palakele International Cricket Stadium tomorrow in Sri Lanka. So let's shift the focus now. This is something which is coming from Warner Park Basseterre in St. Kitts, where New Zealand have won their first tour match of the West Indies by defeating West Indies by 88 runs in the 3rd One-Day International and keeping the One-Day series alive, with West Indies leading the series 2-1. Well, looking at this particular pitch, well, one would have said there were a lot of short boundaries. It was easy to hit sixes, and looking at the firepower that West Indies had with their batting and also the confidence they had after beating New Zealand in the previous 2 One-Day Internationals, one would have never expected this. But well, that was precisely the case. In fact, the West Indies batsmen couldn't really capitalize, and it was a real surprise not only for the spectators, also for the own batsmen too, because with short grounds one would have expected that West Indies would have done something, and well, probably one does not know whether it was overconfidence where West Indies actually captain won the toss, Darren Sammy, and inserted New Zealand into bat. And New Zealand, let me tell you, they were really struggling. Rob Nicol at the top of the order made a good knock of 59 of 69 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes. He was the one who was really weathering it well. But other than that, Guptill was LBW bowled Russell for 11 of 15 balls with 2 fours. Flynn was a victim of Bravo. Was caught behind the bowling of Bravo for 28 of 31 balls, 3 fours and 1 6. And Kane Williamson was clean bowled by Narine for 9. But at that time, the score when Latham was out for 12, the score stood at 124 for 4. And Rob Nicol, who was the sole who was really doing it well over there, but when he departed, Cotton bowled Samuels for 59. That plunged New Zealand to 125 for 5 at the halfway stage. Almost 26.1 overs were bowled, and then it was left to B. Watling once again to actually chisel a very good knock here, and he had good company from Nathan McCullum, who gave him admirable support, and that's what took the score from 125 for 6. In fact, a real credit to New Zealand for the reason that Watling really buckled up, and also Nathan McCullum also was very equal to the occasion, and both of them decided that they had to play out the 50 overs to get as much runs as possible, and that's what they precisely did. In fact, Brian Watling went on to make 40 of 47 balls. Well, as you know, he's a very innovative player. He's a cheeky player too. He was, in fact, West Indies today really stopped his scoring opportunities on the onside, but we definitely saw Watling adjusting himself to the needs of the game. As and when West Indies used to ball him on the off stump, he used to cut well, and also he hit a beautiful 6 inside out over extra cover for a 6. And he made 40 of 47 balls with 4 fours and 1 6. And Nathan McCullum's contribution was also very good. He made exactly 50 of 70 balls with 4 fours and 1 6. And they took on the score to 191. And eventually, a New Zealand innings ended at 249 for 9. Jacob Oram was out for 7. He was out the bowling of Narine. Mills was out for 2. And then Saudi contributed a very quick fire 17 of just 11 deliveries. He was not out on 17 with 1 4 and 1 6, 249 for 9 on the board for New Zealand of 50 overs. Rampal none for 61 was very costly today. Russell was among the wickets, 4 for 57 of 9. Bravo 7 overs 147, but Narine was absolutely economical. 10 overs no made in 28 runs on 2 wicket, and Sammy 8 overs no made in 1 for 22, and Samuel 6 overs no made in 1 for 28. Now, looking at the score of 249, West Indies would have definitely fancied themselves that they can should win the match, because as I said, it's a very flat track, as the commentators were speaking, and one would have expected West Indies to really go after the total, but the main reason that West Indies were all out for 161, conceding the match by 88 runs, was for the fact that the bowling was good and the fielding was exemplary. There were 3 runouts, and one by Guptill was absolutely out of the world, and also a very good quick throw from Tim Southee to get rid of Wayne Bravo. Marlon Samuels was a victim there when Guptill threw him out for 11. So Marlon Samuels was run out on 11 of 18 balls with 2 fours. Wayne Bravo was run out for 2, and then they had one more run out, and that was Nareen, who was run out for 10. But as far as the top order, and Trent bowled today, made his debut, and what a debut for him. The first ball that he bowled to Gale was a Yorker, and one would have been he would have been really shuddered to bowl to a prolific scorer, player like Gale. But well, Gale actually squeezed it out. But well, he was a victim, as he actually got an outside edge onto a ball from Southee. He was gone for 11. Charles contributed 15. He was the first one-day international wicket on debut for Charles's maiden wicket there. Johnson Charles was LBW bowled for 15 or 14 balls, 3 fours. Dwayne Smith, well, he came and went, just 19 of 28 balls, 2 fours and 1 6. And as I said, that runouts of Marlon Samuels for 11 of 18 balls and Darren Bravo for run out for 2 really put a spanner in their works, as the score plummeted to 62 for 5. And then Kieron Pollard couldn't capitalize. He was gone, out for 16 of 30 balls. Dinesh Ramadhin was out for 14. Darren Sammy perished. Cotton bowled McCallum for 7 as the pressure started telling, and then Andre Russell had to try his pyrotechnics. He cracked an unbeaten 42 of just 24 dealt with 3 fours and 4 sixes, but he couldn't get the requisite support from any of the batsmen. Rampal was out for 9, and West Indies innings folded up for 161, giving a great win for New Zealand by 88 runs. Looking at the bowling figures, Mills 7 overs, 2 maidens, none for 37. Trent bowled 8.3 overs, no maiden, 245 on his debut. Southee 6 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 14. Southee was absolutely on the money. He was keeping the runs tight. He was choking the West Indies innings there, and he also picked up one wicket, just one wicket that he picked up at the top. That was of Chris Gale, very important wicket. And then Jacob Oram 7 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 22, bowled economically. Nathan McCallum was costly but took 2 wickets for 40 runs. And well, what it does is that this series has livened up now, with the third one-day international going in the hands of New Zealand, and the one-day series now stands at 2-1. But let me tell you, nobody would have expected that West Indies would have lost this match. Considering it was a flat track, there were short boundaries, you could hit straight down the ground. It is very easy to hit sixes. And looking at the firepower the batting of the West Indies batting order had, but let's throw our hats off to the New Zealand fielders. The way they fielded and they bowled, they simply gelled into a very good unit and took this wonderful win against the West Indies. And now West Indies, as the series has livened up, there are 2 to go, so now New Zealand can definitely try to even square the series and let the final one be a clincher. And what a great entertainment for the spectators here. But keep it up, New Zealand, done a great job. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show for today. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.